Yo, what's up, people? It's your buddy Philko here, reporting live from your mama's house, and today I'm with
Dashka.
And how you doing right now? You feeling good?
Yes.
Excelente. So am I. It's a little later than usual. What is it, like 11:30? We don't typically make videos this late, but today we're making an exception because we were hanging out a little bit earlier and having some fun. And today we're going to talk about foreigners in Russia, and not just that. We're going to talk about a secret society of foreigners here in Novosibirsk. Very secret.
Oh my God.
How many foreigners do you think you know here in Novosibirsk?
I don't know. No.
Now, don't include from Kazakhstan.
No more than 10, I think.
Okay, only countries from the West, like America, Britain, stuff like that.
American, Britain,
And Europe. How many do you know?
German, Italy,
Yeah. And France?
Chinese.
Yeah, there's some Chinese.
Indonesia. And that's all, I think.
Okay, so about 10. But what's interesting here is you do notice a lot of foreigners, the ones who didn't really study, but you don't know that many, but the ones who haven't studied in the university to speak Russian don't speak Russian. It's funny because a lot of people think that if you live in Russia, you have to speak Russian or you won't be able to survive. That's true and false at the same time. Do you think you understand that, or should I explain it to you?
No.
Like, for example, do you think I need to speak Russian in order to survive in Russia?
Actually no, because you have many friends who speak on English.
Yes, who speak English, true. So how often do I have to speak
But
Russian?
you understand Russian and it's, you not sure to speak on...
Yeah, when I speak, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
You just can't understand
Yes.
it, and I think it's enough.
Oh, that is true. Well, okay. Well, let's just say I didn't understand anything. Yeah, things would be harder for me. But what I want to explain in this video while she's looking cute and sexy is that in this city, I've noticed, once I started to know some of the foreigners, like the high rollers, the guys with the money and stuff, and I started hanging out with them, I noticed most of them, they've been here even longer than me, and they don't even speak Russian. They speak it as much or even less than me. And I wondered why just for like 2 minutes, and then I immediately realized that it's because they don't need to. The people who come to Russia who typically need to know how to speak Russian are the people who come here and they have a job. Typically, if you have a normal job, you may need to speak Russian depending on the job. If you're an English teacher and you work in an English school, you might not need to because you're in an English school where people speak English and that's how you communicate. But if you come here to get mostly any other job, you will need to speak a certain level of Russian. That's important, you know what I mean? If you want to make business with Russian people, a sort of business that has nothing to do with English, you're going to need to know to speak some Russian. So all the business I've done in Russia, in all 32 cities that I've done them in, they all dealt with English. So me traveling around Russia, I almost never needed to speak English, Russian. So let me ask you a question. When I've rarely, almost never, been stopped by police in Russia, like talk to police. When I respond to the police in English, how do you think they respond? They get angry and keep me, or they just let me go? What do you think?
I don't know. I think she would try to understand you, but
Nope.
I don't know.
Okay, so
But maybe they leave you, but let go. But I'm not sure. I don't know. I really don't know.
well, the 2 times I've been stopped by police, not including in the metro station, because when I used to take the metro before I had good money, I had to take the metro to go out and go places and stuff. And they always stopped every foreigner and made them go through the metal detector, you know, the terrorism and stuff. But other than that, I've been stopped 2 times. In both situations, the same thing happened. One time in Moscow, and the other time in the Podmoskvy area, you know, like in the Golden Ring, somewhere in there. And the same thing happened both times. They said something to me in Russian. I was like, what? What happened? And I just pull out my passport and stuff, and they say something. I'm like, I don't know. This is my documents. And they're just like, okay, давай, иди. And they just let me go. Both times. But now, I don't know if it's because I had an American passport. I'm not exactly sure. Because I know, especially in Moscow, when they pull over, when they stop, like, Tajiks and stuff, they give them hell. Like they give them
Yes.
help. One time I went to the UFMS office, which is the immigration office, because in order to be in Russia legally, when you get here, you have to register within 7 business days. And when I went to the UFMS office to register, like this is about 4 months ago, I literally saw like 25 people in cuffs sitting on the floor about to get deported. That scared the shit out of me. Not that I'm scared to get deported, but just being in cuffs and being in trouble and that shit just like scared the hell out of me, you know? And, you know, they're serious about it out here. But for some reason, the 2 times they should have checked all my documents, they really didn't care. So that's one thing I want to say. I think, I'm not sure, don't quote me on this, but I really think if you're a Western foreigner, they're less likely to care too much about your documents unless you're doing something you're not supposed to do. If you're doing something you're not supposed to do, then yes, they're going to check your stuff, and if you don't have it, you could be in trouble. But if you're just walking somewhere, you're minding your business, and they're like, where are you from? And they look at your stuff to see you're American, they're likely to just let you go because they don't have an immigration problem here with Americans or British people. Or, you know, there's no... There's no immigration problem from American, British, or German people, anything like that. You know what I mean? So they're less likely to worry. But if you're from one of those countries, like, you know, like Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, there's more. Help me. Not Kazakhstan. They don't. Kyrgyzstan, and shit.
Uzbekistan.
I said that. Yes, you ain't paying attention. But yeah, there's some countries to the south of Russia that are basically like the Mexico of America, where they come up here. What do they usually do when they migrate to Russia from those countries? What do they do here usually?
They go in this country, in Russia actually, and or they can stay for 3 months.
Oh, 3 months.
With no, I don't know how, propiska.
Without a visa?
No, not visa. Propiska in the place, in apartment, some apartment.
Registration.
Registration. Yeah. They can live for 3 months without registration.
Wow, I can't do that.
Yes, but they actually can do registration if they want to stay more than 3 months and go in UFMS.
Yes, where I was. UFMS,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, and make registration.
Crazy. Well, now back to the secret society of foreigners in Russia. Now, I'm talking about the secret societies in Novosibirsk because recently the society kind of broke up into different groups, and so different people hang out with different people. But generally speaking, the foreigners in this country, in this city, there's 2 halves of it. There's the ones with money who don't have to work. Then there's the side that do have to work. Now, as for the ones who don't have to work, generally they do extra stuff on the side and they're always having fun. That's just it. Like every day, every opportunity is a party. Like that's it. Like whenever we meet, it's to hang out and meet girls, and like every time, like there's really nothing else to do. Travel to other cities and just party, because that's literally all they have to do. If you have a decent amount of money or you're making money on the internet, you don't need to work here. As of now, you really don't. So we usually hang out with similar people and like the English speakers of the city. So most real good English speakers of the city knows somebody from the society or is close to somebody from the society. Almost all of them. You know what I mean? Because at one point, everybody has done speaking clubs. You know, Ferdinando, he's doing stuff now. Yeah, he's doing it. So like, if you go to any English, almost any, not all. If you go to almost any fucking English teaching school, you will see a picture of me there. And I'm not saying that because I think I'm cool. This is what Ferdinando told me. Like, he is now working at like at least 3 places. And he's like, everywhere I go, I see a picture of you on the wall. And I'm like, of me? I don't even work there. I haven't done any of that stuff in like a year. But he's like, your picture's there. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, goddamn. But that's how I met most of the people I know today. When I threw parties and stuff, I had the limo parties. Have you heard about my limo parties?
Yeah, I heard, but
you got to go to the next one. This summer, we're going to have crazy limo parties. And limo parties and all that stuff, most of them that I knew were from speaking clubs. You know what I mean? And then I bring them and introduce them to other foreigners, and they're kind of a part of that circle. So a lot of times when we go out, like, with Jean-Marc, I don't know if you know Chris Green, he's another one very popular. When we kind of hang out with a group, that group kind of just stays with us, and they don't typically talk to people outside the group that much. They're just kind of with us, you know what I mean? So it's pretty cool. I love hanging out with these guys. The number one thing I like about hanging out with the foreigners who are here, just having fun every day, is that I never have to think about money. We all just, let's get a bottle, let's get 3 bottles. Like, we all just chip in money, and we never really think about it or argue about it. So that's the number one thing. So basically, if you're a guy who got money, you come out to Novosibirsk, you meet the right people, you'll be taken care of. Because like the society sort of said, we know everybody. Owners of clubs, mayor, all this shit. Like, you will be taken care of. Absolutely. Because in Russia, people respect you regardless of what you look like, especially if you have money. And sadly, that's the truth. If you got money, you'll get a lot of respect from the important people if you could do business with them. And that's it. People in the streets who don't know nobody, whatever the fuck. I'm not saying they're less than anyone else. I'm saying the more connections you have, plus the more money you have in Russia, it goes a long fucking way. And I've learned that my 3 years being here. And if I didn't have those connections, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't even still be here. Considering what happened to me in Tambov. Some of you probably heard about that about 3 years. Oh, what was that? No, not Tambov. It was Pensa. It was Pensa, yeah. Yeah, crazy situation with attempted deportation of Philko. Didn't work, but yeah, it was crazy. I already made videos about that. I don't need to tell the story again, but yeah, that's basically it. Any questions, Dashka? Secret Society foreigners? No? Do you want to hang out with us sometime? No, you don't want to hang out with us. All right, people. I'm basically it. So if you're a foreigner looking to come here, hit me up. The video on my main page of the channel, you can see it. Hit me up, and if you're really serious about it, I can help you out. And report live from your mama's house. Do you know why I say your mama's house? Why I say I'm from? Because at one point I got tired of telling people where I was, because I guess I didn't want people to know where I lived. So I started saying at your mama's house. But now I don't give a shit. But I still say it. I'm in Novosibirsk, Russia. I live across the street from the circus. Like, I don't care what anyone wants to do. But before, I actually cared. And I started saying from your mama's house. And I just kept it. You know what I mean? I just kept it. So that's basically it, people. Let me know what you think. Leave comments and shit. And I'll be waiting for your emails. And I'm out, people. Later, niggas. My leg.